Hey everyone, my brother and I are on another backpacking trip in Yosemite National Forest. And as you can see, we are once again at Hetch Hetchy on the O'Shaughnessy Dam. So we're out here for 4 days and we're trying to get to some place called Pleasant Valley. So we're going to hike the Rancheria Creek, which we've done like 5 times now. And then we're going to go up Rancheria Mountain, and then we go up and over the mountain and then go down to Pleasant Valley. It's maybe like 20 miles in. We're not exactly sure if we're gonna make it there because it's going to rain and snow on this trip most likely. But as you can see, I've got the snowshoes. We're gonna be doing a lot of snowshoeing probably, and we'll see how it goes. Alright, here's the cave once again. So I mentioned before that we went to Rancheria Creek 5 times, but we've never gone up Rancheria Mountain. So this is going to be a first. And it's about 20 miles in, roughly. I didn't really measure the exact distance, but we got to do 10-mile days, which is pretty tough because it's going to be very snowy at the higher elevations, and there's a high chance of rain and snow on this trip, which is kind of another first. We did have one other trip where there was rain and snow and all kinds of weather, but we were only like a mile in. This is like a real backpacking trip where we're going far in and expecting some bad weather. So hopefully it all pans out. I do have my rain gear with me, which added quite a bit of weight, almost a pound, but I've needed it on this trip. My brother's already ahead of me because I'm wasting time making videos. We got a lot of miles to do today, so we need to get moving. Alright, we're already at the junction that goes up Beehive Trail, but we're going to Rancheria Creek. So we're going this way where my brother's going. And just like that, we are at Wapama Falls. That wasn't too bad. The water coming off those falls feels pretty good, and my camera's also soaking wet. We're just taking a quick break near Wapama Falls. We're just eating some snacks right now. Nothing much. We want to hit the trail pretty soon. Alright, we're back on the trail and we're leaving Wapama Falls. It's about 12:40 right now. We kind of got a late start, as usual. The clouds are starting to move in. Alright, we just encountered a ranger, and she was really friendly, but there were a lot of questions. It almost felt like we're being interrogated, and we were in a way. But I guess that's her job. But looks like there's plenty of snow still. The snow line's probably about 6,500 feet. It's a pretty nice day today, but I fear that this is going to be our only decent weather day in our trip.
Alright. That was easy.
So that was our first fallen tree that required some effort to get over, but that wasn't that bad at all. Alright, we made it to Tiltil Creek. This is where Tiltil Creek comes down the mountain and drains into Hetch Hetchy. Alright, we're going up the switchbacks up to Rancheria Creek. This is the final push, and then we'll be there. Alright, we just passed some hikers that told us that they saw a bear in the Rancheria Creek area, and that's consistent with what the rangers told us. They said there was a bear in that area, so we got to keep a lookout. If we do see the bear, that would be my first bear sighting on the trail. That's Rancheria Creek. Alright, it's about 3 o'clock. We're almost 7 miles in. My brother wants to take a short break right here, so we're just gonna take the packs off and have some snacks. But we can't hang around for too long because we gotta start going up Rancheria Mountain. Saw that. Way up there. Alright, we've been back on the trail for about 30 minutes, and we passed all the campgrounds. We passed the junction that goes up to Tiltil Valley that we went up last year, and then we just crossed this footbridge that goes over Rancheria Creek. It's almost 4 o'clock and we've hiked exactly 7 miles, and after this point is a new ground for us. Check this little guy out. Oh, I kind of scared him a little bit. Awesome. We've been on the switchbacks going up Rancheria Mountain for a little while now, and it's brutal. There's also a lot of water on the trail. Alright, first signs of snow along the trail, and I had to get past this fallen tree, which was a bit tricky. Whew, slippery. Alright, it's almost 6 o'clock and we've been scouting out for a campsite for about the last half hour. And we're going to stop around here, maybe more back there, and we're not sure yet. But we're stopping because we're just wiped out. We're just going up these really steep switchbacks. We're at about 5,500 feet, and we're pretty close to where the trail wraps around LeConte Peak. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but unfortunately we didn't make the miles we wanted to today, so tomorrow's going to be pretty tough. A lot of uphill snowshoeing tomorrow, and we only got about 2 hours of sleep last night, so we're just exhausted. So we're going to call it a day here and start getting the camp set up. Here's my brother's updated filtration system. He has a Sawyer squeeze now instead of the mini, and it flows much better now. You might be able to see that. It's like a constant stream now. It's filling really fast. It's almost done. Alright, hopefully you can still see, but we got our tent set up. And my brother's actually got some new gear. He's got a new sleeping pad in there. Big Agnes Aircore Ultra insulated. And something else, I can't remember. Oh, here. You got a new sleeping bag. North Face the One. And And I bought a new quilt, so I'll let you see that in a moment. Alright, it's getting pretty dark, so I gotta make this video soon. But I bought a new down quilt. It's the Perea Outdoor Products Thermo Down 15-degree down quilt. I got a pretty good deal on it. It's not the lightest quilt, but from what I heard, it's pretty warm and it has a lot of loft. And it comes with the strap right here to secure it to the pad. And I also have added insulation on the bottom. I'm not sleeping on snow right now, but this is just windshield insulation. So I'm gonna see how that works out tonight. Alright, I got my water boiling, I got my stove with my homemade windscreen, and I'm gonna eat some Mountain House chili mac. I already put my chili mac and my water in this bag that I'm reusing. I've reused this bag several times now, and it's holding up. So I'll just let that rehydrate in 10 minutes, and I will eat it. Alright, the chili mac is ready. I'm gonna have some now. It's still hot. It's good.
Reconstituted okay?
Yeah. Alright, I'm going to finish up this food and then probably just go to bed because we're exhausted. So this is going to be the last video of the night. So I'll see you tomorrow. Alright, it's morning of day 2. It's about 7:30 right now. I slept pretty well, but there was quite a bit of condensation in my tent, and it kind of has me worried because it's cloudy. I'm not sure how I'm going to dry all this stuff out. So I have everything hanging right here. You can kind of see that this whole area here is wet. And also my sleeping pad is quite wet in this area. And it's just because the tent's so small I can't prevent myself from touching the sides of the tent. And there was quite a bit of water in there. But other than that, I slept quite warm. The quilt performed well. I wasn't even wearing a jacket or a sweater or any socks. The thing is though, it didn't get very cold last night. Maybe the high 30s. So it wasn't a very good test. This trip isn't gonna be a super cold trip, unfortunately, because there's lots of clouds, and usually when there's clouds it's a little bit warmer, and when the sky is clear it's cold. So I already got the bear canisters out and warmed up some hot chocolate, so I'm gonna have that right now. Alright, I'm just trying to wipe up the condensation in my tent. It doesn't look like we're gonna get any sun because it's so cloudy. So I just gotta do the best that I can do to get this thing dry. The good thing is my quilt looks like it's almost completely dry now. The sleeping pad not so much, but I'm not as concerned about that. So yeah, it's just a long process to get things dry when there's no sun. Alright, we're actually getting a little bit of sun. I'm still drying out my sleeping pad, but it's actually pretty dry already. I can probably pack it up. And I already packed up my down quilt. It's right here. So yeah, my tent is pretty much dry right now. I wiped it down and it seems pretty dry, so I'm going to pack that up pretty soon. Alright, I got the tent put away, and I got my polycro ground sheet drying on the tree right here. I actually rebuilt this because on the last trip it tore, and that's because I was putting way too much tension on it. So on this design I'm using rubber bands, but it seemed like it was too loose now, which isn't a terrible thing, but I might want to tweak it a little bit. And for breakfast this morning, I'm having oatmeal cream pies. They can't be any worse than Pop-Tarts, and they're lighter. So since there's rain expected in the forecast, I've got this large plastic bag that I'm putting my down quilt and my clothes in. And I'm also using Ziploc bags to store my down jacket and my sweater. Alright, we've got almost everything packed up now. We're just filtering some water because we need some more water for our bottles. but we should be leaving pretty soon. Alright, it's approaching 10:30 and we are finally getting back onto the trail right now. Everything's packed up and cleaned up. We got our packs on and we're ready to go. So the day is going to be extremely difficult. Since we stopped early, we have to go even farther today. In the snow, we got to go up almost 3,000 feet with snowshoes on and then go down the mountain to Pleasant Valley. And I actually have my doubts if that we're even going to get there. So, I don't know, it's going to be tough. Okay, we've been hiking for about 15 minutes. And we can definitely see a lot more snow on the trail as we get higher. We're almost at the pass, and it's pretty nice up here. The trails are very watery though from all the snow melt. Alright, we're going over the pass near LeConte Point. That means we have to say goodbye to Hetch Hetchy. You might be able to see it through the trees. This is our first bit of downhill in a long time, but it's just going to go right up the mountain again. Alright, we took a short break to put on the snowshoes. We're just post-holing like crazy, so we had to finally put on the snowshoes. And it's probably about noon right now, but at this point we're pretty much going straight up the mountain. Okay, we're around the place where I wanted to camp yesterday night. The problem is it's almost 1 o'clock, so we're not making very good time. We need to get moving. We're about at 6,500 feet right now, and we have another 2,000 feet or so to go. Alright, it's pretty wild out here. Those clouds aren't looking too great either. Right now we're about at 6,700 feet. We did make a wrong turn back a ways and probably wasted about 15 minutes. But we gotta keep on going up and up. Alright, it's about 2:40 and we went a little further and climbed a little higher, but we really haven't gone far. It's just really hard to snowshoe out here. And to be realistic, we're not gonna make it to Pleasant Valley. It's just, at this rate, it's impossible. And also, we might not even make it to the high point of Rancheria Mountain. What do you think our altitude is right now?
It's about 6,800 feet.
69
roughly.
6,900 feet. Man, I expected to be at least 7,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just brutal out here. Anyway, we're taking a lunch break right now, and we'll see how far we get today. So right now, I'm just going to have these Ritz crackers and peanut butter. Just quick and simple. Here's my view. Alright, we've been hiking for just a little bit more, and the clouds are moving in. And you see how it's foggy right there? That's because we're pretty much in the clouds right now. Crazy. Man, it's spooky out here. We can see the clouds going by. It almost looks like smoke. Oh man, we just came straight up this mountain right here. We didn't even follow the trail. And look at this. We're literally in the clouds right now. You can't see more than 50 yards. Alright, it's starting to rain a little bit, so we got the rain gear on. As you can see, got my pack cover on and my poncho, and my brother got his rain shell on, and you can tell he's a little bit foggy because the visibility out here is like almost zero. We are at about 7,500 feet right now. We're still off the trail. We're trying to find it, but probably not too long from now we're gonna set up camp. We didn't get nearly as far as we wanted to, but that's just how it is, you know. Look at the weather. I mean, What do you expect from us? I think these are bear prints. I'm not an expert or anything, but this is pretty cool. It's starting to come down a little bit. It's a kind of a mix. I don't really know all the terms for precipitation. It's not quite snow. It's like really small hail. Oh yeah, it's starting to come down now. Alright, now it's snowing. Alright, it's about 5:30 right now. Our elevation is about 7650 feet, and we're gonna set up camp right here. It looks like a fairly flat area of snow, and we gotta start setting up camp because we don't know if it's just gonna start dumping on us. Okay, 6:40 and we got our tent set up. It was really tricky because we're on snow, obviously. And also this is the first time we set up the tents while it's snowing. So I've got everything in my tent already, and I'm ready to just get out of these wet clothes and eat some dinner. Alright, it's the morning of day 3. It's probably almost 7:30 right now. When I checked the thermometer at 7 o'clock, it was about 27 or 28 degrees. So it got pretty cold, probably down to the mid-20s overnight. And sorry that I didn't film any cooking videos last night. I was hunkered down in the tent trying to stay out of the snow, and it's really cramped in there. And it was really tough last night, actually, just doing anything. So I just didn't really feel like filming any videos. And here's my tent. Everything's iced up, and I still have snow on it. And my down quilt is quite wet, and also my sleeping pad. I was really cold last night. Not shivering, but I was cold. It's just I had wet pants on when I went to bed. My feet were freezing all night. And here's my brother's tent. It has a bunch of snow on it still. The sun's starting to come up now, but we're not in a good spot. There's sunlight over there, but not near our campsite. So last night we were melting snow for water, and I melted some snow and I got it up to boiling, and I put it in my water bottle and it got warped. So don't put near boiling water in a smart water bottle. It's probably close to 8 o'clock right now. It's getting sunny. The sky looks pretty good, considering that this was supposed to be the rainy day of the trip. I'm trying to dry my quilt off and get warm. Nice little drying rack we got going on over there. Alright, we've been moving really slow. It's probably like well past 9 o'clock now. But we need to get going because the clouds are starting to move in. and if it rains on us, that would be bad. Alright, we got the campsite packed up, and we're about ready to go. So, yeah, we're gonna head back down the mountain now. We're gonna try to get to Rancheria Creek today. Should be fairly easy, it's all downhill. And it's been snowing very lightly for the last hour or so. So that's what made us pack everything up quickly. We didn't even eat breakfast or anything. So we're just gonna hit the trail. Alright, we just descended a bunch of elevation and we are now at the place where we had our snacks yesterday. So we're coming down the hill pretty fast, and hopefully we can get to a point where there's no snow pretty soon here. Alright, this is the spot where we put on our snowshoes yesterday. So we're probably going to go a little further on our snowshoes and then take them off somewhere down there. Okay, we're taking our snowshoes off here, and we're going to fill up our water bottles because we're in desperate need of water. It's about 12:30 right now, so we're making pretty good time, and we're probably going to eat something right now. Alright, I'm going to eat some tuna creations with rice and beans. And it's also precipitating a little bit. It's kind of like tiny hail or freezing rain, but it's very light. So the next stop is Rancheria. If the weather's really bad, we might just say, just go home, So we're not sure what we're going to do yet. We may cut the trip short a day. Alright, we can see Hetch Hetchy again, and that's where we're headed. Still going down Rancheria Mountain. We just passed our campsite from yesterday. Hey, it's the red lizard dude again. Wow. Alright, we're crossing the Rancheria Falls footbridge. That means we are off of Rancheria Mountain. Alright, it's 3:06 right now, and we're a little bit past the Rancheria campgrounds. And we've decided that we're going to hike out today. So this is going to be our last day. It's actually raining pretty good right now, so I got to cut this video short. But yeah, we got to get to Hetch Hetchy by 7 o'clock. Actually more like 6 o'clock, or they'll close the gate, so we got to hurry up. We got 6 more miles. Alright, we're passing Telltale Creek, and it's raging right now. Alright, we're back at Wapama Falls, and it's 4:55 right now, so I think we're on track to get back to the dam at around 6 o'clock, which is a good thing. We could get there as late as 6:30 maybe, but that's pushing it, but I think we're going to have plenty of time. Alright, we just saw a bear on the trail just ahead. He was huge. He ran up the mountain right here. We got to make sure he's actually far away now, so we can pass. That was crazy. That's my first bear sighting on the trail. It's not my brother's first, but was it your second?
Second on the trail, yeah. But I mean, that's normally last time we saw them, they were like far off, down. They weren't very close up like that guy was.
Yeah. Yeah, he was pretty close.
It's right up here. We're walking into that spot where the bear was, so hopefully he's long gone.
Huh? He's right there.
Okay, I see him. Let's keep going. He doesn't want to be near us. Yeah, so anyways, yeah, we see him right up at the top here. So we're going to try and pass by it without bothering him too much. Ooh, that's freaky. That's a big dude. So we're going to keep on going here.
Oh man, we just passed him, and he was just a little bit of ways up the mountain, and you looked back at us and we saw him. I think my brother got footage. That was awesome. Alright, we're at the cave that goes to the dam. So we made it, and we are exhausted. But we are running a little bit later than expected, so we need to hurry up. Alright, we're in the car now, and we barely made it out of Hetch Hetchy. The ranger was actually standing there at the gate, and right after we passed, he closed it. Alright, so this is actually the most miles we ever hiked in a day, so that's pretty impressive. We started out the day at 7,600 feet in the snow, and ended up at 3,800 feet at Hetch Hetchy. So we didn't make it to Pleasant Valley, and we cut the trip a day short. But that's okay, a lot of cool stuff happened. We got snowed on, we got rained on. Like, we saw a bear. That's the first. So all in all, it was a pretty good trip. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.